My name is Saul Cantu, and this is Texas Math Mundo. Today's task is incredibly difficult. In fact, I don't think I have the skill set to properly complete today's task. What we need to do today, or what I'd like to do today, is to pay a fitting tribute to two giants of UIL Texas Region III mathematics that have recently passed away. Miss Dolores Maceiras of Westbrook High School, Beaumont Westbrook High School, and Miss Faye Parish of Bridge City High School. These two were giants and played such a monumental, integral role in the development in Region III UIL Texas mathematics. And it's my hope to give them a fitting tribute. I would be remiss if I failed to attempt a fitting tribute for them. Okay, Texas Math Mundo friends, audience, this is my attempt to pay some tribute to two giants in UIL Texas Region III mathematics. I was browsing the internet, in pandemic days we have plenty of time to browse, and I usually browse a lot of math stuff. And to my surprise, shock, sadness, I came across two obituaries of dear friends from the math world. The first one, I have her picture up here, Miss Faye Parish. She was such a personality, such a powerful presence, if you knew her personally. I'm going to go ahead and read snippets of an obituary I found for her. It reads like this. Born in Port Arthur, Texas on December 21st, 1950, she was the daughter of A.H. Bob Montaigne and Celeste Francois Montaigne. Faye started her career at West Orange Junior High School before going to Bridge City ISD in 1976, where she taught math for over 40 years. Students of Lamar State College Orange also benefited from her expertise as a teacher. She took great joy in every second she was able to touch her students' lives. Faye's dedication to her students' successes in the classroom, but also in their extracurricular activities, resulted in her receiving the Southwestern Bell Award from UIL, as well as the 2010 Rod Road Award. Faye was also recognized as the Bridge City High School Teacher of the Year 1986 and 2003, a Bridge City Chamber Employee of the Month in 1999, a Bridge City Masonic Lodge Mirabel B. Lamar Teacher of the Year, and being listed 10 times in Who's Who in American Education. So she had quite an impact, no doubt. And that's just like the surface stuff. I know the personal impact, and I'm going to expound on that briefly. She coached BC math students, many of whom became UIL state champions. Faye also took numerous students under her wing that ultimately went on to receive the prestigious Mirabel Lamar scholarships. To say Faye had an impact on her students would be an overwhelming understatement, but her memory and impact will forever stay strong through all those who had the chance to know and love her. So she had, what a life, right? What an outstanding life, what a worthy life devoted to students, to passing on knowledge, to providing opportunities. So let me just discuss my interaction with Faye Parish very briefly. My very first tournament. Bridge City hosted the first tournament for many, many years, and it was looked upon with much excitement and anticipation by everybody. My first tournament, I was hesitant. Jonathan Trin, Ermine Minard, they asked me to do a favor, take the team to Bridge City. I was hesitant, but let me go. When I go, I was so, entranced, by the atmosphere, the electric environment of the tournament, how all these kids were loving doing math. And so I was really, and that was the first time was with Faye Parish. And you could tell she was the one in charge. She had such a presence, but she had an easygoing manner about her. So I remember being at the grading table and making mistakes, right? And one of the most quoted things in the coaches table is this, because Faye Parish would always say this. To quote Faye Parish, if you're not making mistakes, you're grading way too slow. You know what I'm saying? So that's often a quoted Faye Parish. She had a way to make you feel welcome. And even if you made mistakes, she was completely very sympathetic towards you. And and made you feel like you belonged to part of the group. She set the standard also for hosting tournaments. For any of you new guys who want to host a tournament, don't worry about feeding us, but she used to feed us, and the Bridge City really hosted quite a tournament. Faye Parish, quite a character, quite a life. The other individual I want to pay tribute to is Dolores Maceiras. Let me get a picture of her up here and maximize it for your pleasure. Now, she was at Beaumont, Westbrook. Oops, let me get this picture again. She was at Beaumont, Westbrook, and she was also a giant in the Region 3 scene when I first entered the scene. Dolores Maceiras. So I found a little snippet of a obituary for her. I want to read that actually. Oh, here it is. Okay, so let me change me so that I can see this. Okay, cool. And it says, Dolores Maceiras, 67, of Nederland, Texas, passed away on Wednesday, July 8th, 2020. Dolores was born on February 2nd, 1953 in Port Arthur, Texas, to Joe M. and Laura Mae Maceiras. She graduated from Thomas Jefferson High School in 1971, where she was a member of the Red Hussar Drum and Bugle Corps. After graduating from Lamar University in 1975, she began her teaching career in Galveston at Ball High School. Dolores was a math teacher for 40 years and retired from Beaumont ISD. She loved knitting and working in the yard, especially gardening. Dolores was a loving sister and aunt who was a perfectionist that loved all her students and fellow teachers. I concur. What a great lady, Dolores Maceiras. Let me get that picture up. All right, and let me maximize it. There you go. Good. So with Dolores, I'm going to talk about my interaction with her. My first impression was, she seemed tough to me. We go to Beaumont, Westbrook, and the very first time I see her, she seemed like there was a sternness to her. That was my very first initial reaction. And then I had to go to the restroom, I remember, and and the admin office at Beaumont, Westbrook is like a big old U-shaped, and I got lost, and I ended up bumping into her in the tabulations room. And I'm like, uh-oh, here I am. I'm going to get yelled at. Man, nothing could be further from the truth. She was so sweet, so kind. Now, just the way she said my name, she was just so pleasant, so sweet, so kind. And I always, my initial impressions could have never been more far off the mark. And, she always was very willing to help you out. I remember when we hosted our tournament at Fort Bend Hightower at the time. And when I hosted, I think, I know she would always offer to help in the tab room. She was an expert in the tab room. And so she was just the sweetest and kindest soul. And so what a life, right? 40 years in education. What a life. Here's the deal. I noticed some parallels between both Dolores and Faye Parish's lives. Let me see if I can get a picture of both of them together. Good. And let me maximize it. And here goes a couple parallels. They both lived to be 67 years old. Wow, that's an amazing coincidence to me. They both dedicated over 40 years of their life to public education. Wow, what amazing parallels. They hosted many, many tournaments, and they impacted Region 3 mathematics for the better. They leave a void that I just don't know if can be filled. And these ladies are so special, so spectacular, and it's my small little opportunity to give them the praise that they're worthy of, and to acknowledge them to the best of my small ability here. So this is Dolores Ann Maceiras and Faye Parish, spectacular women. Now, I was able to solicit a couple of response from some fellow legendary coaches. Let me see if I can find that. Here we go. Let me maximize that so you can view it better. This was from Ken Walker, who was a coach, longtime coach at Sweeney High School, and I believe he's at Athens High School now. And Erminie Minard, who is also a legend. I think her mom was into this, and she actually introduced me along with Jonathan Trent into the UIL scene. So These are legendary coaches, and these are their thoughts regarding both Dolores and Faye Parish. Dolores Maceiras and Faye Parish. Here goes Ken Walker. Dolores was an especially kind human being who would never say no. If you needed help with anything, she was unpretentious and humble and very dedicated to teaching and the spread of her love for math. Faye was very talented at organizing and recruiting people to help her. She also always wore a red bow in her hair at all competitions. That's funny. I remember that when he said that. According to Ermini says they were both good friends and great competitors. Both those ladies exemplified the UIL code of academic excellence through competitions. This is high praise coming from legendary coaches, and they are worthy of it. Dolores Maceiras, Faye Parish, you will be missed. You will be missed. I'm saddened to see you go, and I hope that Region 3 can do right by you guys. Take care. When I first entered UIL coaching, I think it was in the year 2000, 2001, I feel like it was a golden era in Region 3 mathematics. And an integral part of that was Dolores Maceiras at Beaumont, Westbrook, and Faye Parish at Bridge City. They leave behind a void that I sincerely think will not be filled. Ostensibly, when you host a tournament, it's to make money for your club, but it's so much more than that. No telling how many little junior high kids or even high school kids entered Beaumont Westbrook High School or Bridge City High School, and they encountered an electric atmosphere in that cafeteria. They saw all these other teams, students passionately working on their number sense tests, passionately punching their calculators, and I'm sure they were inspired by that scene. I, as a coach, was inspired by that scene. There is no telling. The impact that Dolores Maceiras and Faye Parish had on countless generations of students in mathematics is immeasurable. Who knows, but I can tell you this, they planted many a seed. By hosting those tournaments, they gave little kids who otherwise would not have a platform in which to showcase their skills, they gave them excitement, motivation, inspiration to pursue their passions, knowing that it's worthy passions, as they saw a very enthusiastic community come together at these tournaments. Those tournaments were golden. My hope is that a younger generation will come and fill the void. I don't think they can fill the void left behind by those two giants in Region 3 mathematics. But with increasingly high stakes testing taking over and any resources devoted to anything other than the STAR exam, it makes it very difficult for principals and admin, teachers to devote their efforts at other beautiful things in our public education system. And it's hard for a new teacher and young teachers to decide to step above and beyond. There's the travel, there's the food, there's the organization, there's all this extra work to run a team, let alone even consider hosting a tournament. All this extra work, and it's hard to ask that of anybody, and for not much of a stipend. But I'm hoping that anybody, a young coach, can run across this tribute to Faye Parish and Dolores Maceiras, and their story in some way can inspire them to step up, to provide these beautiful opportunities for our kids, for our children in Region 3. Their impact has been immeasurable, and it's just my small pleasure to give them a tribute. Thanks for listening. This is Saul Cantu, and this is Texas Math Mundo.